Okay, let's get started. You'll notice in front of me I have all the pieces cut out for this mini album. And right up here in front, all of these pieces are used for the actual album, and all of these pieces are used for the box. Let's start by assembling the box. Okay, you'll notice that there are two large pieces, and they are going to need to be hooked together. So let's go ahead and fold the glue tabs down, and the little bottom flap down, and the side panel all in one direction on both pieces. Now let's make sure as we do this that we get everything going the right way so our glue flaps can connect the two pieces together. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is connect the panels together on the side here. To do that, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on this glue flap and connect it to the side panel of the other piece. And I'm going to carefully fold that in half, and while it's drying, hold it down and do the same thing on this other side here. Making sure that the glue flap is on the inside. That slipped just a little bit, so I'm pulling that back into place. I had to do this so that our box could be big enough, and you can cut it out of paper on your cutting machine. Typically I would make a box out of one piece, but this box is bigger. Okay, so now that that's glued together, you'll notice that it's just a slip box where you can slide your mini album into it when it's complete. And I need to hold that just a little bit longer so it's good and dry. To finish assembling that box, you just tuck those two side tabs in this bottom tab. If you wanted to glue it on the outside, you certainly could for a different look, but it will also just tuck right inside. So you can do it either way. I honestly think it would probably be best to glue it on the outside because the album then won't bind up on it, which would be kind of nice. So it might be kind of a cute look to have that glued on the outside. Anyways, I'll go ahead and leave it tucked for now, and we'll see if it causes us any problem when the album is finished. Okay, so there's your little box. There's also some embellishment pieces for your box, so I'll go ahead and apply those, adhere those. There's about 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around. So just center your piece on all the sides. And then I've included some little side panels as well. Little mini album would make an excellent gift, a little brag book, or an album about a specific event. Okay, so there's our box. I'm going to set that aside and put it over here. And let's get started on our actual album. In the album, you'll notice that there's 3 pages, and there's one that has a smaller middle, one that has a medium-sized middle, and one that has a larger middle. So the larger middle piece is actually the outside of our album. So let's go ahead and fold that. And this piece is for the binding area, just to embellish it. So you can go ahead and glue that right onto the outside of your album. Actually, before you do that, I forgot about this piece. This is the front of your album, and it gets centered on the front. So let's go ahead and glue that down first, actually. And you'll notice there's little rounded corners on one side. Just make sure you get those going the right direction. Okay, and then you can go ahead and put your center and making sure that you line up those holes, because those are going to be very important for actually binding our album. Of course, you could cut 2 of those album covers and put one on the back as well if you'd like to embellish both sides. Again, making sure you're lining up those holes so that it's easy to finish off your album at the end. Okay, there's your album cover. And the rest of the assembly is quite easy. Looks like my little holes didn't punch out quite all the way. Make sure your little holes are removed from the binding area. And go ahead and fold your pages in. And this one is the medium size, so it's going to go in the next. And then the smallest one is going to go in the center. And I left some space so that you can embellish your pages and have some dimension to those, and your book will still lay flat. So there's your center set of pages. Now all of those holes should be lining up for you. I'm going to use my little gummy eraser here to get rid of some glue. All of those holes should be lining up for you, and now you should be able to take some twine. I'm going to cut this plenty long so that I have plenty to work with. And I'm going to thread it through the center of my book, coming out, starting on the inside and coming out the outside. And I'm going to do that again on the other set of holes. You could, of course, use a needle or something to help push this through if you need it, which I should have grabbed, but I think I can get it with my nails, maybe. There we go. Okay, so now I have my string pulled through, and you could choose to tie this on the inside or the outside of the album. I actually am tying it on the outside of the album. You might want to put a little double knot in that or something so that it will stay. Okay, then I'll take those 2 ends and just make a nice fresh cut. And of course you could put some fray check or something on them so that they don't unravel. Okay, now there's your album. Let's see, there's your album, and it's got 6 pages inside. And if you'd like to add more pages, you could do that. I would just cut a couple of each of those inner pages and add those. And then your album will store inside your little box. And you know what? I have that flap tucked in and it's not causing any problems. So you can tuck it in or pull it out, either one. But what a cute little way to house a mini album and give as a gift or create for a little special event in your life. So I hope you enjoy making this project.